specifically. I'm not talking about individually. I'm talking about as a methodology.
Well, that's a whole. Well, you're asking a whole nother question, and that is a question that I think that we would have to deal with in a real strategic way of what are you talking about, how you deal with it collectively. I would be the one in the collective, though, saying I do not believe in violence. I will not participate in violence. I didn't participate in violence when a man stabbed me leading a march in Bensonhurst. The ultimate test, Levi, of which somebody believes is when it involves them personally. It's very easy for me to say I believe in nonviolence, but when I get attacked, I say, go get that guy. And I had security guys there with me. And I didn't do that then. And I also say, let's do the test on the violence side. A lot of guys that run their mouth but they believe in violence, they are just running their mouths because when the people come down on the kids that they stir up, they're gone. And they're not standing there. And I don't think it's fair to do that to those kids. But thank you for your call. Let's bring in my co-host. I wanted to finish that, Charles, because I didn't want that out there. Because a lot of times people have feelings, and other people might have the same feelings, and I want them to hear the answer. My co-host, Charles Ellison, that's the Charles I was referring to, and of course you know him as political strategist and the political correspondent, contributing editor to TheRoot.com, and the host of Reality Check on our affiliate WURD Radio in Philadelphia. How you doing, Charles?
Hey, how you doing, Reverend? It's always good to be here.
Good. I'm doing real good. Let me ask you, with all of these reports of the debasing of civil rights bureaus, defunding them, cutting back personnel, Washington Post reporting, the Labor Department, Civil Rights Bureau cut down, Department of Education, EPA, and the Justice Department. We are watching the dismantling of civil rights in this country right before our eyes while we're watching the Russian investigations, and we should, but we're watching them like we're watching the fifth series of House of Cards while they're taking away everything out of our house.
Right. No, and you know that's a very important point, Reverend. We have to pay very careful attention to this systematic invasion, attack on civil rights, on a lot of progress that's been made just in recent history now. You know, people talk about what happened 40, 50 years ago, or even 30 years ago. They talk about it as if it's, you know, it was long ago. This is very recent history where you've had these types of institutions, these types of agencies or divisions within federal agencies put in place. And they were put in place for a specific reason, to address specific challenges and wrongs. Now we're looking at a very concerted, very aggressive rollback, a very waste no time rollback of these, and you know, it was a very hard fight to get these types of offices or to get these types of mechanisms, these types of civil rights tools, enforcement mechanisms in place. Very hard fight. Not saying that they are perfect mechanisms or tools. They've had their own share of issues and problems over the years. But, you know, we had reached a point where, you know, there was a lot of improvement, particularly during the Obama administration years, in making these tools, making these mechanisms more effective. Now, the Trump-Russia investigation is extremely important. It's something we have to pay attention to. It gets into some bigger questions regarding not just, you know, where we are geopolitically, but who we are as a nation in terms of our soul. But at the same time, you know, black folks can't lose sight of this systematic attack on these types of mechanisms and tools and institutions that have been put in place that people fought really hard for. And, you know, and we need to pay attention to issues like that. We need to pay attention to what's happening with this budget that's been proposed. It's very convenient that the president, at the same time while the president's out of town, out of country, he then has his White House introduce this new fiscal year 2008 proposal, and it's cutting things across the board, and it's going to have a very negative, very disproportionate impact on us as a people. We've got to pay very close attention to it.
Let's go to Yvonne in Chicago, 1690 WVON. home of the governor, Cliff Kelly. We'll come right back to you, Yvonne, and the rest of you holding on. Charles Ellison, Al Sharpton, keeping it real. Be right back.